GameStop is set to report its second quarter results. It's going to happen this afternoon. The meme stock, can we call it a meme stock? We're calling it a meme stock. It's down. Mimi is down nearly 35% since its last quarterly report. In the last week, the stock has now fallen over 9% again. It's now shaving off much of its gain since that original Reddit trading frenzy, but the stock is still up well over 900% since it all began. Joining us right now with a preview of what is to come, Gunjan Banerjee, markets reporter for the Wall Street Journal's money and investing team. Also, Justin Zen is here, co-founder of alternative data company Thinkdom. And Gunjan, what are we expecting to hear this afternoon? And are we going to hear from either Ryan or the new CEO for the first time?
That's the big question right now. I think the most fascinating thing about this earnings report is that it really is our first since they've had this big executive shakeup. It's our first earnings call with this new CEO, who's a former Amazon executive. GameStop, as the Journal has reported, has hired 80 executives with technology experience to kind of assist in this business overhaul while letting go of around a dozen. So everyone's watching to see what does this overhaul look like under this new management team, and are they making steps toward being more e-commerce focused?
Justin, do you have any sense that we're going to find out what it looks like? And I would think we would know what it looks like because you can walk into the store.
Yeah. So I don't think the earnings report is as interesting as the long-term play. If you look at the due diligence of what Redditors are talking about, they're talking about GameStop evolving into a completely e-commerce company, and Ryan's talking about adding computer hardware, computer accessory, TVs, cameras, stereos, headphones. So not only is GameStop going to be a leader in the gaming industry, but they're also entering the computer hardware industry, which is a $700 billion market, as well as general consumer electronics, which is a $1.2 trillion market. So that's what Redditors are looking at.
But when is this supposed to happen? Meaning, don't you think we would know a little bit more about this, or do you expect to hear this on today's call? Is that what's happening here?
I would expect to hear this on today's call. It does take time. If you look at the job listings, earlier this year in February, GameStop had one job listing for an engineer. Now they have over 33. It just takes time. But I do believe that they're going to share their plans.
Gunjan, if we don't hear that they're going to get rid of the stores, will Redditors, will shareholders be happy enough? Meaning, I have a view, and maybe I'll be wrong about this, that they will remain a brick-and-mortar operation in large part.
Look, we don't know what that looks like. There's still a lot that's unclear about this transition. But I do think that if you look at the trajectory of the stock over the past year, as you mentioned, up more than 900%, that isn't entirely about its financials, right? That's been about memes, momentum, sentiment. That has trumped everything else when it comes to the stock. And it's led to a very loyal, fan base, investor base. And I've spoken to investors who say they're not letting go of stocks like GameStop and AMC. Some of them traveled to its shareholder meeting in Grapevine, Texas, to hear Ryan Cohen speak. So many of them have certainly had diamond hands when it comes to this stock.
Right. Hey, Justin, even if you're right and we hear, some grand plans today, what's a fair valuation for this company? What's a fair valuation for the company today? And what would be a fair valuation for the company, even based on whatever you think the best case scenario is?
It's hard to say. In the long term, I think if they're successful in implementing part of the plan, and obviously that's a big what if, the stock could definitely fly. But, that's what Redditors are banking on.
But you don't want to put a number out there?
It's been impossible to value these things, so I'll pass on that.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Justin and Gunjan, thank you. Appreciate it.